What we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about making your offers, counter offers, closing the property, and the mortgage note. First of all, you've already went through looking at properties. You found something. Let's just assume that you found a property. You figured out the rehab. You've done all your inspections on it, figured out the rehab costs and all that. So let's just assume it's a bank-owned property. So you're going to place your offer either through yourself or your realtor. Let's make the numbers easy to work with. Let's say it's a $100,000 property, fair market value after you finish your rehab. And let's just say the bank is asking $67,000 for this property. And let's assume that your rehab costs came out to $20,000. Okay, so you know by the formula that we talk about in the book and on the audio, and that you've either watched or you will watch on the video, you know that you can't pay any more than 70% of fair market value minus the rehab cost. So what you want to do is take the fair market value, which is $100,000, times 70%, which will be $70,000, minus your rehab cost, which is $20,000. So the most you can pay for this property is $50,000. And really you should pay a little less than that, because like we talk about in the book, you want to have a little bit of leeway just in case you have some expenses that come up, or holding costs, whatnot, something like that. So if you could get it for $48,000, that'd be great, but you would pay $50,000 because you still have quite a bit of equity in the property. And if they're asking $67,000, you're quite a ways away, but that's okay, because you want to start the bidding process, and all you're looking to do is get a counter offer. So if the most you want to pay for that property is $50,000, like we talk about in the book, you want to start offering about $10,000 to $15,000 less than what your max offer is. So if your max offer is $50,000, we might start offering about $35,000. And like we talked earlier, you may have a realtor that says, "You're crazy. I'm not going to place that offer." Well, you make sure they place that offer for you, because all you're looking for from that bank is a counter offer. We get properties accepted all the time this way, so don't let a realtor discourage you, or any other person discourage you from putting an offer on this property. So what you want to do is place about a $35,000 offer on it. Send it to the bank, and hopefully you get a counter. Now you're probably going to counter back several times with this bank, and you might get this property, you might not. You might have to move on to the next one. But if you can find 3 or 4 properties to bid on at one time, that's what you need to do, because more than likely your first one that you get, you're not going to, first one that you place an offer on, you're not going to get. So if you have multiple offers out there, what you're looking to do is get one accepted out of about every 3 or 4 properties. So if you're bidding on 3 or 4 properties at a time, you're hoping to get one accepted through the formula that we use. Let's just assume that at the end of the day you get this property for about $49,000 from the bank, which is about $18,000 less than what they were asking. That's not unusual at all. We get those kind of offers accepted all the time. So once you buy it, you have $49,000 into the property, plus your rehab costs. You're going to have $20,000, so you're going to have $69,000 into this property. Okay, so what's going to happen is, once they accept your offer, you're going to sign all the documents, the addendums, all that good stuff. They're going to ask you for your earnest money, which is usually anywhere from $500 to $1,000, which they will hold in escrow. Hopefully within 3 to 4 weeks you're going to get this property closed. You'll go to the title company and get ready to close the property for cash. And this is where your OPM comes in to play, the other people's money or the hard money lender. What you're going to do at closing is you're going to take in the mortgage note that we discuss. You're going to have it filled out between you and your money investor, your cash investor. It's going to show what property you're purchasing, how much money you're getting from this investor, which would be the $69,000, because you need $49,000 to buy the property plus $20,000 in rehab. It's going to show the property address. The mature date is going to be upon the sale of this property, so you want to make sure you do that. You don't want to pay any investor monthly. It's going to show the interest rate, and then you're just going to fill out the rest of the mortgage note as needed. When you take this mortgage note to closing along with the cashier's check from your cash investor, you want to make sure that the title company notarizes this note and also records it. They may charge you a $25 fee to record that mortgage note, but that's fine. And what's going to happen at closing is you're going to give them the cashier's check for $69,000 made out to the title company. What they're going to do is they're going to give you the difference between the closing, the purchase of the property, which is the $49,000, and the $69,000 which the cashier's check is for. So you're going to get a check back for $20,000, probably a little more than that, because you're going to get credits for closing costs and also taxes and things like that. So you'll probably get a little over $21,000 back. What you're going to do with that money, obviously, is you're going to put it in your business bank account, and you're going to use that for rehab of the property. Now, the mortgage note is going to secure your investor. He's also, he's going to have a lien on this mortgage or on this property. That way, you can't sell it out from under them or do anything behind their back without them knowing about it. If you try to, it'll come up on title, and the investor will find out about it. So that gives them a good security, a good feeling of security for the property. And also, if you're not doing things the way that you guys have discussed and agreed upon, they have the ability to take the property back from you. But I've never had that happen, nor does an investor, cash investor, want to take your property back, because if they wanted to do the rehab and things like that, they do it themselves. They just want to make some nice interest off their cash, and as long as you do a good job, they're going to keep giving you more and more money and reinvesting with you. So that's basically how it works. You're going to make your offer and your counter offers. You're going to close on the property, and then you're going to start your rehab process. So it's pretty basic and pretty easy once you get going. Let's move on.